There's a piece of Social Security math that almost every retiree gets wrong, and it's not their fault.
It's not my fault.
It's called the break-even analysis, and every calculator, every article, every financial website runs it the same way. Wait until 70 and break-even age is around 80. Live past that and you win. But there's a hidden assumption baked into every single one of those calculations. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. When you correct this one flaw and run the numbers the right way, break-even age doesn't land on 80. It actually lands somewhere between age 87 and 96. According to Social Security's own tables, there's less than a 5% chance most men will ever get there. So today I'm going to show you what the standard calculators get wrong, the 5 hidden risks it ignores, and how to make sure you're running your numbers right. Hi, my name's Jeremy, and for nearly 30 years I've helped people navigate these complex decisions. Here's what you've probably been told. Delay Social Security for as long as possible, and every year you wait past full retirement age, your benefit grows by 8% per year. Guaranteed, no market risk. Wait until 70 and you get 24% more than if you claimed at age 67. And it absolutely sounds like a no-brainer. Someone with a $2,400 benefit at full retirement age will get $1,680 at age 62. That's a 30% pay cut. Or $2,976 at age 70, or 24% more than full retirement age. The calculators back this up. Claim at 62 versus 67, and the break-even age is 78. Claim at 62 versus 70, and the break-even age is 80. Wait from 67 to 70, and break-even age is 82. That's standard math. But there's a hidden assumption no one seems to see. Every one of these calculators assumes your portfolio earns 0% while you wait. I mean, zero. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
As if your investments just sit there. And that's a big mistake if you don't take everything into consideration. And let me show you why. If you delay Social Security until age 70 and you retire early, you have to live on something. And that something is your portfolio. Let's say you need $100,000 a year. If you claim at age 65, maybe $30,000 would come from Social Security, and that other $70,000 would come from your investments. But if you wait to claim at age 70, you're pulling the full $100,000 from your portfolio every single year for 5 years. So that extra $30,000 that you're pulling from your portfolio, or $150,000 total, is coming from your investments. Money that doesn't get a chance to compound. If that $150,000 stayed invested at a 6% rate of return for 20 years, it could grow to nearly $500,000. That's what's called opportunity cost. And the standard calculators assume it's zero, not $150,000. And that's a big mistake. Now let me show you how the math actually looks when you fix this. When you factor in investment returns, the break-even age changes dramatically. At 0%, which is what the calculators assumes, you get those familiar ages, 78, 80, 82. At 4%, which is a pretty conservative rate of return, the break-even ages move to 84, 87, and 89. Now at 6%, which is a reasonable rate of return for a balanced portfolio, the break-even ages pushes to 91, 95, and 96. And at 7% or higher, you may never break even. Standard calculators say the break-even age is 80 to 82, but the corrected math says 87 to 96. JP Morgan did their own research and confirmed this. Once your expected returns hit 6 or 7% or more, delaying rarely pays off. A 2025 study from Vanguard found the same thing. For investors with a low spending rates, claiming early actually increased total wealth from $60,000 to $107,000, an increase in total wealth. Okay, I know what you're asking. What are the odds you're going to live long enough to break even? And let me show you. Social Security published actuary tables, and here's what they show. At age 78, which is the standard break-even age, a 65-year-old man has a 67% chance of getting there. Women, 76%, pretty good odds. And you know those ladies live longer because they take better care of themselves, right? The odds of a man living to age 82 drops to 52%, basically a coin flip. At age 87, which is the corrected break-even age for a 4% return, there's only a 33% chance that men will make it to that age. 1 in 3. At age 95, where break-even lands at a 6% return, only 5% of men will ever get there. With a relatively realistic portfolio return, break-even is 95 years old or older, meaning there's a 95% chance you're not going to come out ahead. And would you take that bet? The numbers are bad enough on their own, but the standard calculators also ignore 5 other hidden risks that make it even worse. And that's risk 1, sequence of return risk. If the market crashes and you're pulling heavily from your portfolio early in retirement, you could permanently damage your plan. If you have a 30% drop in year 1 while you're waiting on Social Security, that could create a hole that you may never climb out of. The calculators completely ignore market risk. Risk number 2, policy risk. The Social Security Trust Fund faces depletion by 2033 or 2034. I don't think this is a reason to panic at all, but it's real uncertainty. And you see, calculators assume the rules never change, and sometimes they do. Risk 3, loss of flexibility. Your portfolio is flexible, Social Security isn't. If you need cash for a medical bill or a new roof, you can just pull from your portfolio today. You can't get advance on Social Security. And if you suddenly need to start your benefits, it's not instant. It takes time to process. You just can't flip a switch. The calculators ignore optionality, but having access to your money when you need it is very valuable. Risk 4, regret risk. If you delay and get diagnosed with a terminal illness, say at age 68, you gave up years of benefits you'll never see. The calculators don't measure that, but it's a real risk. And risk 5, and this is one nobody talks about, is called spending risk. The truth is, $1 at age 65 when you're healthy enough to travel is not the same as $1 at age 92 when your spending naturally declines as you age. The trips, the golf, the experiences, they happen in your 60s and 70s, not in your 90s. But here's what makes it worse. Research shows people spend Social Security far more freely than their portfolio withdrawals. Something in your brain treats Social Security like money you owed, but treats touching your portfolio a lot like a loss. So you may delay to maximize your benefit, but then be too old to enjoy it. Meanwhile, you could have claimed earlier, received steady checks when you were healthy enough to actually use them, and actually enjoy your retirement. You see, the larger Social Security check doesn't help much if it arrives after your best years are behind you. Life is meant to be lived while you still can. You see, calculators don't factor in human psychology. We're not robots, and your retirement isn't lived on spreadsheets. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jeremy, does delaying ever make sense? And the answer is yeah. There's 2 situations. First is tax planning. If you have large IRAs, delaying Social Security creates a window for Roth conversions before RMDs kick in. This could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax savings over your lifetime. If you claim early, you shrink the amount it may make sense to convert. You lose the chance to move money into tax-free accounts while you're in a lower tax bracket. For people with big IRAs, this may outweigh everything else we just talked about. The second thing, and this is a big one, is spousal protection. When one spouse dies, the surviving spouse keeps the higher benefit for life. If you're the higher wage earner, delaying locks in maximum protection for your spouse. These calculators usually focus on lifetime expectancy of one spouse and ignore the surviving spouse. So which answer is right for you? I've put together a free video on the Riverbend Bridge method. It's the same framework we use with clients to coordinate Social Security timing, taxes, investments, and income planning into one clear system. The link is in the description. I hope all is well with you and your family, and I'll see you in the next video.